Now, I like to talk about this. I like to talk about this from the left. I like to talk about the collapse of the government, what that actually means. Okay, look. So, what do we think about when we hear the word or the term of the government collapsing? Uh, the government is completely destabilized. It cannot function. Our police, law enforcement is no longer functioning. For some reason, they're out of service. All right, so when the government collapses, um, a lot of the services are. I'm pretty sure a lot of services are cut off. Um, Obviously, it's not good if the government collapses because that's like the main source for the nation's laws. All right, some type of laws. But this is why I tell y'all, and I always say this to y'all. Don't just think about man. Don't just think about the basic laws that man has put down. I mean, sure, yes, killing is illegal, but this shit is already set in stone. They took a lot of countries and nations use the Bible's template on forming a society. Okay, that's how a lot of nations formed. Okay, they used the Bible. You know what I'm saying, to form a government. Okay, I mean you could say the Bible has its own little government functions. The Quran does too. All right, but the Quran has a political motive to it. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm a Muslim and that's that. No, some people say Islam. Some people say Islam is a cult. You know, I mean, obviously, I haven't really done like that type of research to declare it so, but I mean, there's information in the book that that would make it come off as so. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I mean, the thing, this is the main battle between the universe. It's really Christianity versus Islam. Okay, it's the Bible versus the Quran. This is the main battle because this is the spiritual battle. Okay, and the reason why this is so important is because without people to hold on to God's word, um, it's obsolete. You feel me? If you don't have people that can carry on your message in the later generations, decades, then it's outsourced. It's no longer, you feel me? How can something be used if, my fault. How can people, how do people know your message or anything about you if people don't keep track of that somehow? You feel me? So, this is what I'm saying. The Quran and the Bible are the two main forces at play. These are the spiritual powers at play, and it's a very unique one. Obviously, I went over everything about Islam, and it might be uncomfortable to hear. Sometimes it has to be uncomfortable because without the uncomfortableness, how can you recollect? You know what I'm saying? How can you sit down and say, okay, hold on, let me analyze this? I don't care how dedicated of a Muslim you are. Okay, if the shit stinks, the shit stinks. Okay, there's no such thing as a perfect human being. No matter how many times you pray, this goes for the Christian too, bro. You feel me? Just because I'm a Christian, don't mean I'm perfect, bro. I never ever put myself or set myself to be perfect to anybody because I go to church more. No. In fact, I don't even really go to church like that. I don't even go to church like that. I haven't been in so long, but it doesn't mean that I abandon my belief. It just means that I'm having my personal journey with God by myself. For me, because that is more soothing. Because I could go to a church, I could hear the pastor talk, but at the end of the day, I get the good message. But at the end of the day, bro, this is more than just a good message. I can't keep listening to preachers talk about the good message, and then we got shit like this happening behind the scenes. You feel me? Where niggas is about to start setting up a caliphate, and then I gotta hear the preacher tell me that I should love my enemy. 100% yes, love my enemies always, even if they hate me. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's not me they hate. You feel me? It's not me that they actually hate. It's the source. You feel me? It's the source, the belief, the things that I carry, the things that yeah, bro. You feel me? It's that shit. They're not mad at me. They're just mad at the truth. They're just mad at the book. They're mad at the Bible. They're mad at the fact that that this book has been carried on for centuries. That's why. That's why they're mad. They're not mad at. They're not mad at you. They're just mad at the fact that the truth is there. You feel me? And that there's people out there still preserving and holding on to that truth in that book. Nobody, I'm telling you, the Bible is never gonna leave. It's never gonna go outdated. It's never going to go anywhere. The Bible is the number one classical book. That's the most classic. That is like the very beginning of everything. That's the very beginning of mankind, all inside of words, written down in a book. From the very beginning of time all the way up to now. That's crazy to me, bro. It's a living book. It's a living, breathing book. Literally. That's the coolest part to me, is that it talked about the past all the way up to the present. It's not just the Old Testament. No, it's the New Testament. The New Testament is the updated version. That's Mankind 2.0. The Old Testament, back then, y'all, before we were even born, that was Mankind 1.0. You feel me? Because they didn't have all the shit that we got now. We got technology, we got phones, we got computers, we got everything, bro. We got crazy AI shit. But they had it back then too, but it wasn't like how it is now. You feel me? They had their own little systems to figure out shit, to figure out what time it was, all that shit. Niggas was looking at the stars and connecting the stars and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So when we talk about divine intervention or dreams or things of that nature, I'm not saying that those dreams can't be true or that they can't mean something. You know? I believe every dream has a message. Every dream has some type of meaning to it, because you wouldn't have had that dream. You know what I'm saying? If you're a kid, you might dream about candy. You might dream about sweets. You might, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. Like I said, y'all, the game, the facts is always going, like I said, bro, this is the shit that has to be talked about. Like, it's not an option. I'm not giving you an option. All right? It's not an option. Okay? We're having these discussions. Okay? I'm taking charge, nigga. All right? I was giving niggas a break for a little bit, but I'm taking charge again, nigga. You feel me? Because like I said, bro, we're not going to just let people just do whatever they want to do and then everybody else has to suffer. I have to suffer because of somebody else's action. And it's going to affect me. You feel me? So because if I have to do something against my will, I'm going to have an issue with it, nigga. And then, like I said, bro, I'm going to have to blast niggas up. You might say, who do you actually mean that to? I mean that to the hardcore regime niggas. Niggas that want to, you feel me, take away what we got over here. They want to destroy our society. We can't go over there and do that to them, but they think it's appropriate to come over here and do it to us. So that's why I say, like, you feel me? This little bullshit game that these little politicians and presidents and all these niggas is on, it's fake fuckery shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand Trump right now. I get what Trump is doing, but he's not doing it fast enough. You feel me? Because why are you trying to negotiate? See, I feel like that's the first wrong step. You don't negotiate with no motherfucking with no niggas that's terrorizing. You know what I'm saying? You don't give bad people good shit. You don't reward bad behavior. We're not. You feel me? And I always told y'all before, like, the assassination with Charlie Kirk and even with the one with Donald Trump, that's just the beginning. You feel me? That's just the beginning of it. They're not gonna stop until they actually smoke Trump. You feel me? They're gonna smoke him. And then if and when it does happen, it's gonna cause it's gonna cause havoc. It's gonna cause more destabilization from the people that really love Trump. And when that happens, I feel like it's gonna be this little tit for tat thing where it's gonna be Republicans and liberals. Yeah, that type of shit. That's where the bloodshed happens. Because, see, this is what I finally figured out. You don't have to necessarily be a part of the group. You don't have to be Democrat or Republican. You could be someone on the sidelines working for another agenda to destabilize a nation. You pull it off, and if you get caught, well, I mean, if you get caught, then, well, it's not going to work anyway. But you could just put the blame on a party. You could just blame a whole party and say it was somebody from the left or some shit. And you never really know. Okay? Because you don't have to side with anything. You don't have to side with any political anything. But on the timeline that we're on, you have to pick a side. You have to pick a side that you want to be on. That's what I finally figured out, because that's what's going to be happening. That's the whole idea of enslavement. That's the whole idea of the mark of the beast. That's the whole idea of making niggas submit their allegiance to an ideology and a belief system. Okay? When the Bible says that you're not going to be able to buy and sell without it, that's what that means. God is basically warning me and people and you. He's using me, the messenger, to talk to y'all. God is saying you're not going to be able to buy and sell without this mark. Because this is what this nigga is going to do. That's the whole point of the man of lawlessness. Who is this man of lawlessness? He is a man, like me and you. He's a man, right? He goes on stage, and he puts on a performance for the world. He says, I am this highest authority. He says, I am a prophet or a messenger of Prophet Muhammad, or whatever it may be. And then he has some other companions, which is Jesus, and maybe somebody else on the scene. But the reason why this is important for y'all to know is because when you guys see it yourself, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's going to be like, oh shit, Jaden wasn't lying. And I'm not lying. I never had to lie. So you feel me? Don't take this as this is some 5 years. It could be in 5 years, but this could happen at any time. I told you guys, Things are unpredictable. Humans are unpredictable, so anything can happen at any time. Nigga, in the next 2 hours, you could go to war right now. You feel me? 5 hours from today, nigga, you never know. We might go to nuclear war in 5 hours later on from today. You never know. Something could just happen, and then it's over, just like that. Someone went to somebody else's territory, now somebody shot nukes. Like, bro, come on, bro. And if even one person uses it on the world map, everybody's gonna use it. That's how the game works, because it's like, well, if one person uses it, then everybody else has to use it too, because, I mean, not everybody has to use it, but in this case, y'all know what we're talking about. The good and the bad. All right, if the bad acquires a nuclear weapon and they shoot it at the other side has to retaliate. Because if you mess with one, then you mess with all, bro. Facts, bro. That's good with me, bro. You feel me? I'm fine with that shit. You feel me? If one uses it, everybody gotta use it. Everybody's going. Everybody's gonna meet the Lord. Everybody's gonna see God, bro. And then there won't be no more nagging, bickering, fighting. There ain't gonna be no more discussions over about how this nigga finessed me for a gram. Ain't gonna be none of that shit. That shit ain't gonna fucking matter no more, bro. You feel me? That shit ain't gonna fucking matter, bro. All that shit ceases to exist. So basically, it's just gonna be a burnt, cooked world, cooked buildings, cooked skyscrapers. All right. New York Square is gonna be cooked. Okay, I mean, isn't that where Charlemagne and all the big time rappers is at? All them niggas is cooked. Any nigga in Times Square, any niggas in New York building blocks, bro, that ass is cooked. You're not running from no nuclear device, missile, flying straight to New York, nigga. That ass is done. You feel me? And then the collapse of buildings and then the ashes that rise from the fire. Oh man, you talk about climate change and pollution. Man, that shit gonna hurt the world bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie, cause that shit gotta come back down some way somehow, whether through raining or something, bro. So when all that black smoke and dust rises up in the air, and take 9/11 just for an example. When you saw that building collapse, the two buildings collapse, and you saw all the ash kicking up, go right up in the air. Times that would not compare that to a nuclear weapon hitting the middle of New York. Everything within that radius, bro. The middle of New York, all the boroughs is getting smoked. Glass is getting shattered. Everything, bro. Like, bro, the room is just gonna instantly go up in flames. Instantly. You feel me? If you're anywhere near the hit radius or the blast radius, nigga, your ass is cooked. Or you might get radiation. Okay. So yeah, that's facts. Anything can happen at any time. Trump could be assassinated later on today. You never know. It's just unpredictable, bro. So I'm giving you guys notes in a timeline to look at this shit. Anything could happen. So if anything could happen, then I think it would be best for people to support. You know what I'm saying? Support the project. Cause like I said, bro, this isn't just about me. All right. Because at some point Trump has to step down. You feel me? And like I said, somebody else gotta take his place naturally. All right. So, like I said, bro. I mean, a brother like me, bro. Like I said, bro. I'm past the games. I'm past all the jokes and all that other shit. Like, I want to. I want to make a change in the world. I gotta make the change in the world, cause, like I say this every single time, bro. Every time I get up here, if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it the way I'm going to do it, bro. And it's that simple, bro. I'm not uneducated. I'm not know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You feel me? I know what's going on. I see the shit that's happening. You feel me? And even though I might, like I told y'all, bro, I'm not always on social media because, like I said, bro, you feel me? That shit could be a headache by itself. You feel me? So when I post, I just post. You feel me? And then whatever, and then that's what y'all get. But at the end of the day, it's still a message. That's the most important thing. What am I talking about with y'all? I'm not talking about some video game shit that just came out last week. No, you feel me? That's not what I'm here to talk about. That's not something of value. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not real value. That's not something that could change the reality in the world that we live in. I mean, it can, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real life. Okay? Because real life says, if this shit didn't exist, it wouldn't even matter. All right? So then we would just all be just doing our regular shit without this electronic shit, without this video game shit, without none of this shit. We would have been doing what our great-grandparents were doing back then. You know what I'm saying? With some improved stuff, obviously, because as time goes on, things improve. They should improve. Okay? Like I said, bro, I just want to, I want to make sure that in my timeline, bro, that the world is set in stone. I'm going to give the world, God is giving the world one more chance to get this shit straight. That's how I see it. He's giving all of us one more chance to get this shit straight. He's like, yo, look, either y'all are gonna fall into the deception because y'all would have had hated truth so much that y'all would have had just said, no, it don't matter. I don't need to read it. I don't have to pay attention to real life shit. It doesn't pertain to me. Which is already dangerous. That's a dangerous way of thinking anyway. And that's why I feel like the mark of the beast is going to be able to. That's why I feel like when the boys slide out, the Iman, you know, when the Mahdi and all this crazy shit start happening. It's going to be easy to deceive a lot of y'all because a lot of y'all don't know what you're talking about. And he's going to and he's going to have the solution for you. He's going to claim that he has a one world solution to bring everybody together, to make everybody unified under God's banner and all this crazy shit. Now, I'm doing the same thing, but not on no scale where I want to control people or I want to, you know what I'm saying? That type of crazy shit. I'm not the only person that God gives dreams or visions to. You see what I'm saying? God gives people all different types of missions out here in the world, from being doctors, teachers, coaches, you know, musicians, all different types of shit. And at the end of the day, this is a lot about. This is more of just like elements that you could build for yourself. Okay, music is an element. Drawing is an element. You feel me? You could acquire these abilities at any time in your life. That's up to you if you're gonna work on it. You feel me? But that's the thing. You know, the whole Mahdi and the Prophet and the Caliphate, they like I said, bro, they just want to wage war for really no reason. And like I said, bro, the Muslims are gonna have to speak up Because if you don't speak up, then you are a active participant. You might say, well, I don't agree with it, but you're not speaking out. And then how are you a Muslim and then you're not saying nothing about that shit? So you're letting it happen. So when you willingly let it happen, you're a participant. You're an active participant by default. That's the category you fall in by default. You know the word by default. Because if you don't do anything with your life, you know, you lose by default. So by default, when you continue to stay quiet and not speak up and not speak out against that shit, people that believe in that shit. Cause see, if I was a Muslim, bro, I'd be like, okay, you know what, fine, you know what, the Bible, okay, so they got all this source, they got all this, the Quran confirms the Bible, so the Bible has to be legitimate, because that was the first, and this is just even like common sense thinking, bro. The authentic book, this is the one that came after my book. If I was a Muslim, the Bible came first. So, first off, I'm looking at, okay, well, which book came first? That's what I will be trying to figure out. Because a book that comes after anything else, I mean, it's not the number one. The Bible is the number one. The Quran came after. Okay? So, that's the thing I would have had recognized off rip. Okay, well, you know, I mean, it says that in there, you know, the Bible, you know, like I said, I would have just had naturally figured this shit out, bro. No matter what type of person, no matter who I was, no matter what form I was, even if I wasn't Jaden, bro, I would have had still figured out the truth. Cause I would have been a truth seeker, bro. I'm not a deceiver. I'm not a liar. I'm not up here trying to do what these niggas is doing. The politicians, they scamming y'all. They giving y'all a false reality. You feel me? They giving y'all a false fantasy, and y'all keep taking it. But I'm not in a false fantasy. I'm in the real reality. You feel me? Where niggas die, people die, war, people die. You feel me? Real life shit. Not no made up fantasy world. Because when the bloodshed commences, it's not pretty no more. So yeah, man. Check that shit out.